Hi, this is Randy Nyman, and I'm going to present you with an audio presentation or information session on the Pikes Peak State College RN-BSN Program. We are a CCNE accredited program that operates out of the Rampart Range campus at Pikes Peak State College, and I'm just going to kind of talk you through what our program is, what the requirements are, and then answer some frequently asked questions. So first and foremost, our program is an RN to BSN completion program for licensed RNs. These are RNs that are out in the community working with their associate nursing degree. Maybe they graduated a year ago, maybe they graduated 20 years ago, but they're wanting to come back to school to finish their BSN degree. The completion program is online. You've got a couple of classes toward the end of the program that require some clinical practical hours out in the community in both a leadership setting, like with a director of nursing at a hospital, and in a community health setting, like with a school nurse, a hospice nurse, the El Paso County Health Services. So those are in the last few classes of the program, but our program is online. It's designed for practicing RNs to work with your busy schedule. We know that most people are working 3/12s or 5 days a week in an office, and so the program is designed with that in mind. We start the first session of classes 3 times a year in January, May, and August. Their classes are 8 weeks, except for in the summer semester when they condense down to 5 weeks, and you can transfer these classes within the Colorado Community College system. So the second way that you can enter the RN to BSN program is through our dual enrollment option. To dual enroll as a RN to BSN student, the procedure is pretty simple. You need to take all of the prerequisites, apply, and be accepted to the Associate Degree of Nursing program. We do not have a standalone BSN program. So if you are not a licensed nurse already with RN behind your name, the way that you can dual enroll is to enter through our ADN program. So you just go back to the website, you find the information on the prerequisites and application process for the ADN program, and you start there. So once you are in the ADN program and you finish your first semester of the ADN program, which is that kind of fundamentals and pharmacology semester, you can apply to dual enroll in the BSN program and start taking classes toward your BSN, which are those 3,000 and 4,000 level classes. Really important that you stay in good standing with your ADN courses, that you don't have financial holds on your account, that your clinical requirements are complete, and that you are successfully moving through the ADN program. If you don't complete the ADN program, then you won't become licensed. So the ADN program, which stands for Associate Degree in Nursing Program, is how you get licensed as an RN, and then the BSN is an academic degree that comes on top of that. The BSN dual enrollment application is super simple. It's like a 2-page application. You send in all your transcripts, a letter of intent, and then if you have already been accepted to and are being successful in the ADN program, we let you dual enroll. Those packets are available the month of March, June, and October, and then like I said, we start the program in May for summer session, August for fall session, and January for spring session. It's fairly easy to enroll. It's not like the application process for the ADN program. So our RN to BSN program objectives are based around the essentials, domains, and competencies that are part of our overarching CCNE accreditation. But when you graduate from our program, we want you to be able to deliver quality care. We want you to identify as a professional in nursing that is concerned with caring, the legal and ethical practices, civility, that you're dedicated to lifelong learning. A lot of our classes focus around communication, how you communicate with patients and teaching, colleagues, promoting safe work environments. We have classes in both leadership and community health, so you really learn how to be a leader in the profession of nursing, and learn how to do quality improvement projects, manage and coordinate care instead of just kind of the ADN level nurse delivers safe care at the bedside. The BSN nurse is more in a management leadership level, coordinating, managing care, working to make cost-effective healthcare decisions, and then critical thinking, clinical reasoning, using clinical inquiry, using evidence-based practice, and then providing care for not just individual patients, but families and the community at large. So there are a few differences between your curriculum in your ADN or diploma program and the curriculum in the RN to BSN degree. So the first thing is you're going to learn a lot about APA formatting, how to do literature searches and find evidence-based best practice, and you're going to be better prepared to do graduate degree programs that require a lot of APA. Some people get a little cringy when they see APA formatting, but we give you a template paper and we really start pretty gentle and kind of help you develop your skills in writing formal APA papers throughout the entire program. You're also going to learn some leadership skills that are going to help you today when you're working in the hospital, and also prepare you for future opportunities, management jobs, leadership jobs, and where you're going to take your professional skills in the future. There's a huge emphasis in evaluating research, searching databases, finding evidence-based best practices that improve patient outcomes. So we show you how to use different databases in our libraries. Our research librarian can meet with you and help you do that. And we start that really from the very first class, and it is threaded throughout the program. You also have the opportunity to go beyond caring for individual patients at the bedside in a setting like a hospital to really get some clinical hours in community health and care of the whole population. So it just like broadens your focus of what nursing is, which is amazing. So these next few slides are all about our program curriculum, how many credits you need, and the meat and potato of the classes and what you need to take when. So this is probably what you've actually tuned into this information session for. So the ADN degree is 71.5 credits, and a bachelor's degree is 120 credits. So in order to bridge between 71.5 credits and 120 total credits for a bachelor's degree, you need to take 30.5 credits of 3,000 and 4,000 level BSN classes, and then we also have 18 general education credits. So I know you're wondering, can I use these general education credits that I've taken before? And the answer is yes. So English 1022 is the kind of second level English. You take English 1021 to get into the ADN program, and then the BSN program requires you to take English 1022. You have Math 1260 Statistics. That class is actually, we will take in different transfer classes for that. They call that different names at different schools. So at UCCS, nursing research isn't statistics, but there's a statistics for nursing course that is, we do take that in for statistics. You can have a biology statistics, a psychology statistics, a sociology statistics, just different colleges that you may want to transfer in from. Call that a different, that might have a different number, and we just look at that when we review your transcript. You need one history course. The GT in front of the HIS1 is guaranteed transfer, so that just means that those classes are vetted and guaranteed to transfer to a four-year school. We will also take other history courses. We really review each transcript individually to see what classes we can possibly use from courses that you may have taken at a different school, 5 years ago. If you've taken medieval history, history of the Civil War, we will take in those classes for that 3-credit history course. And then arts and humanities. So these are kind of second level arts and humanities classes. So these are things like art appreciation, theater appreciation, philosophy, literature, the 200 level languages like 2011 Spanish, but not Spanish 101. You can take the history of dance or dance appreciation, but actual hip-hop dance or actual ballet, the physical movement, we don't take. The same with the art classes, art appreciation, art history, things like that. We do not take drawing or ceramics. So these are kind of baccalaureate level arts and humanities courses. And then everybody who's anybody already has their social science 3 credits done. We can use a Psych 1001 for that, or some other sociology or psychology that class that you probably took as a prerequisite to get into the ADN program. So when you apply to the BSN program, you send me your unofficial transcripts, but then once you're in and accepted to the BSN program, we actually have your transcripts, your official transcripts from all of the colleges you've attended sent to our records office. There's a link there, and then there's records office, Pikes Peak Community College, and they go through and they try to put in as many classes as they can that you've already taken into your degree plan for BSN. So most students have 2, 3, some have all of the general ed classes, those English, statistics, history, arts and humanities, already taken. So that can save you a ton of money in the long run. And you will have these directions again sent to you once you are admitted into the RN-BSN program. The records office can't evaluate you for nursing classes until you are admitted into the BSN program. We change your degree plan, and then they can start evaluating and transferring over classes. So there are 9 classes in the RN-BSN program that are the 3,000 and 4,000 level classes that you have to take. Everybody has to take 3001 Integration into BSN Practice as their first class. Even if you are transferring from another BSN program, we require that you take that entry class with us, because it's how we orient you to the whole program. It's how we orient you to our expectations and APA formatting. So everybody takes 3001 first. And then 3002, Trends in Nursing Practice. 3003 is Nursing Research and Evidence-Based Practice. Please note that you can't take 3003 or any of the further classes down the line until you have statistics done. That math 1260 is a prerequisite for nursing research, and sometimes when people are not taking the statistics, they're kind of either don't want to or they're in denial about it. It really kind of prevents you from moving forward. So if you are looking for a class to take even before you're in the ADN program, go ahead and take statistics, and that way you can just move seamlessly and take the BSN classes in any order that you want. So once you take the 3003 class, we have 4 electives, but you only need to choose 2 of them. So we have Nursing Informatics, that's all about healthcare technology and how we're using that. Nursing 3005, Emergency Preparedness, is about kind of the big picture of emergency preparedness for things like wildfire, hurricane, creating disaster plans, what your role is as an RN in those events. We have 3006, which is gerontology nursing and care of our elderly population. And 3007 is behavioral health. So that deals more with what issues do you have maybe that are leading to obesity or trauma-informed care. It's not really psych nursing, it's behavioral health. It's kind of a different elective. Once you've done your 2 electives, you jump into the 4008 classes, which are legal and ethical issues, and then leadership in the nursing profession and community health nursing and practicum. 4009 and 4010 are those classes that have a little bit of clinical or practicum associated with them. So for the leadership in the nursing profession, there's 22.5 hours of clinical that you have to do, and we set you up with a leader in the community. So a question that always comes up is, can you find your own leadership clinical? We really set those up for you. So we will find a director of nursing that works somewhere locally, or someone who is the manager of the NICU at Children's. She always likes to take students, and we have contracts with the facilities, and we place you into your clinical. However, that being said, if you have a lead and have your heart set on working with somebody, you can't work with the manager of the place that you're employed. But if you're employed as an ICU nurse at, Centura, then you could, or Common Spirit, then you could work with the manager in labor and delivery. You could be in the same hospital system, but it can't be the direct person that you work with that you just spend time with. And then same with community health. There's a practicum associated with that. You go out into the community and work with a community health nurse. These are typically school nurses, El Paso County health nurses, hospice, special needs, special kids, Common Roots, which is a group that works with developmentally disabled adults. So lots of different community health opportunities, and you need 45 hours of community health clinical. And of those 45 hours, I think 20 are the windshield assessment, where you do an assessment, an analysis of a community to see what the resources are in that community, and then there's a project associated with it, and then 25 hours are you out doing clinical. The thing to know about it is it's not like ADN clinical. You're not wearing white. You're not out with a clinical instructor. You have to be a licensed nurse to take 4009 and 4010, and so you are out in your blue scrubs or in your business casual, and you are setting up a time with your preceptor that works for both of you. So if you need to do clinical on Monday and Tuesday, or if you need to do it on the weekends, we try to match it up. There's not like set days, like Monday, Tuesday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's not like that. You can do little bits at a time or bigger blocks. And then 4011 Senior Seminar is the final class, and it's just really putting it all together. It's doing a quality improvement project and getting ready to launch you as a professional BSN nurse. So those are the RN to BSN courses in the program. I'm going to give you some sample curriculums next. So everyone has a different curriculum. Depending on if you've taken statistics or English or an arts and humanities, it looks different. So each student has an individualized plan of how they're going to progress through each semester. So if semester 1 is spring, then you would take your ADN classes, your fundamentals, and your basic concepts of pharm, maybe a couple of the BSN electives, and then you'd apply to the RN to BSN program. Then the summer, you could take statistics and a couple of BSN classes, then back to the ADN classes, med-surg, and maternal child. So things to know is that in the ADN program, most of the classes run on the bimester system, and all but one of the BSN classes run on the bimester system. So in some of these semesters, it looks kind of busy, like you're taking a lot of classes. But if you look at, let's just say semester 4 on this sheet, you're taking advanced concepts of med-surg for 8 weeks or 7 weeks, and then you're taking transition to professional practice for the next 7 weeks. Those aren't overlapping. So first bimester you take 2016, second bimester you take 2030. Those are the black classes listed under semester 4, and really the same for the BSN classes. Those are the red classes listed under semester 4. You can take 4008 legal and ethical issues first by, and then take one of the electives second by. So although you're taking 4 classes during the semester, you're only taking 2 classes at a time. So it really is quite manageable. Different students do different things. Some students load up their summers and they'll take 4 or 5 classes in the summer and then not take any classes while they're taking ADN classes. That's fine. Some take a little bit here and there and kind of try to get it done. So a question that I always get is, can I graduate with my BSN at the same time as my ADN? And the answer is no. The last 3 classes, 4009 Leadership, 4010 Community Health, and 4011 Senior Seminar, you must have your RN license for. So you cannot enroll in 4009, 4010, and 4011 until you have your RN license. So because of that, the soonest you can graduate from the BSN program is 1 semester after you graduate from the ADN program. So if in semester 4 you finish and graduate from the ADN program, the next semester you can enroll in your final BSN classes. We do not have a standalone BSN program. It is a completion program, so at some point you have to get your RN license before you can complete the BSN program. So this sample curriculum is for licensed RNs. If you are out there working in the community as an associate degree nurse and you are coming back to get your BSN, the red classes are the classes that you need to complete. I look at a lot of transcripts, and most nurses who are out working do have some of these general education classes done. You've probably for sure had Psych 101, the intro level to psych class, because you needed it for your second developmental psych for nursing school. Many of you might have a history class, one of those arts and humanities classes, a math class. So that top group is kind of the general education courses, and you could take those, intermittently throughout the next 4 semesters. They are not prerequisites to the 3001 class. You can take them concurrently. But this is kind of what a curriculum would look like for a licensed RN. If you wanted to take one class at a time, again, 3001 runs first bimester, 3002 runs second bimester. You could add one of those classes above, like math or English, down into that semester. And then nursing research, a couple of electives, 408, 409 the next semester, and then the next semester, 4010, 4011, and you would graduate. If you started in kind of summer 2024, you'd graduate at the end of summer 2025. It takes most licensed RNs about 1 year to 18 months to complete the RN to BSN program if you just keep chipping away at it. Now, there is no speed that you must complete. We'd like you to get it done within a couple of years, but if you need to take a semester off, if you start a new grad program, something like that, that's fine. You can take a semester off. It's no big deal. We do like you to kind of, once you start, to kind of keep moving through. So this is just a list of kind of sample course assignments from the first course in the BSN program to let you know how torturous is this going to be. So week 1, you have an intro post and a discussion post. Week 2, you do a discussion post or a quiz or a case study, kind of depending on how the class is built. And sort of every other week it's like that. You either have a discussion post or a quiz, and then there's an APA paper somewhere along there, and then you have more discussion posts and quizzes. There aren't a ton of points for each course. There's between 200 and 300 points for most courses. So if you do miss an assignment, it can drop you down a letter grade. But it's not torturous. It's meant to work with you. We know that you guys are either active ADN students or working RNs. We're not here to torture you in any way. So the program costs change every year based on the tuition and fees of the college. So the best thing to find the up-to-date costs are to go to the main pikespeak.edu website and just type in tuition, and it'll bring up all of this tuition and fees and can tell you exactly how much it's going to cost, because undergrad credits cost a little bit different than bachelor's degree credits, cost a little bit different if you're a Colorado resident versus a non-Colorado resident. So on average, the Bachelor's of Nursing courses for a resident with the Colorado Opportunity Fund kind of built-in financial aid is $386 per credit. And then for those other undergraduate classes, which I mean like the general ed classes, for a resident with COF, if you're taking them on campus, it's $169. And if you are doing Pikes Peak online or Colorado online through CCCS, it is $277 per credit. I don't want to get too far into the weeds of financial aid, but once you're accepted into the RN-BSN program, you will have opportunity for student financial aid and loans available through PPSC. Our financial aid office has a ton of resources. You can find those online at financialaid@pikespeak.edu. You can call and find someone to have an in-person appointment with. And then for military and veterans financial aid, please see a financial aid counselor. There's a lot of little rules, like if you're on an online program, at least one course must be taken in seat, but that class can be a prerequisite course. So if you are watching this video and you're military or veteran, using military or veteran VA funding, anything like that, please reach out to either me, my contact number is on the last slide, or financial aid, to make sure that we kind of make a plan that's going to keep you at the right number of credits delivered in the right way so that you get all your housing allowance and things like that. And most importantly, if you are an CNA or an ADN RN working out in the community, a lot of the UC Health, Children's, Centura, Common Spirit do provide tuition reimbursement. So up to $3,000, $5,000 a year in tuition reimbursement. If we spread your classes out over 2 calendar years, it will completely reimburse the RN to BSN program. So this slide is again for RNs working out in the community. You need to have a current RN license in good standing from Colorado or one of the compact states. You have to have an associate's degree or a diploma from a regionally accredited college. You should have a GPA in 2.5 or above in all of your nursing courses, a current basic life support certification, and then current vaccines and titers for flu, DTaP, MMR, hepatitis B, varicella, and TB. We'd like you to have 1,000 hours of work experience in the last 3 years, unless you've just recently graduated from an RN program. If you're a new grad RN, you don't have to have the 1,000 work hours, but we are not a nursing reentry program. If you've been out 20 years raising kids and you've had an RN license at some point, and you're trying to re-enter the RN workforce, UCCS has that program that allows you to, it's like a RN reentry program. That's not this program. This program is really for working RNs that have current experience. And then once you are provisionally accepted, you have 30 days to complete a drug screen and background check, and all of that information is relayed to you when you get accepted to the program. To verify your work experience of those 1,000 hours in the last 3 years, you can just have this filled out by somebody at your work. It doesn't have to be somebody as official as HR. You can have it completed by your manager. If you are a new graduate RN and you've just graduated within the last few years, you just initial the top of this form where the red arrow is and resubmit it up with your application. So this is the information session that is pre-recorded for the RN to BSN program, so you can listen to it offline. We occasionally do one in person at the Rampart campus before the semester starts. Because it's an online program, I feel like people prefer the online version, so that's why I always just re-record it every year. But you can apply via the PPSC website. The BSN specific application is only open during the application periods. So that's the month of March, the month of June, and the month of October. You'll be able to pick from the scroll down menu BSN as what you want, the program that you want to apply to. And then it'll ask you to put in your RN license number. If you don't have an RN license number, that is not the correct program for you to be applying to, and it will stop you. But once you put in your RN license number, it'll have you upload your supplemental documents, your unofficial transcripts, your Colorado nursing license, your BLS certificate, any of your vaccinations, and your work verification form. Once you get all of those into the system, we review them on our end, and you will shortly get an admission letter. One of the things that happens when you apply is that you get an S number or a student ID number, and that number you need to pretty much access everything. You need it to set up your email, you need it to send your official transcripts in. If you are an ADN graduate from us, which we get quite a few people that have graduated from our ADN program and are coming back, you do have to reapply to the college, and then it just merges your account and your S number will be the same. So once you get acceptance into the RN to BSN program, you have 30 days to complete a background and drug check. That will come from our HR department. You will get information on that. And then we do a little success workshop orientation right before classes start so that you get off on the right foot. I'm just going to try to answer a few questions that I get frequently when I do the information sessions in person. And the first one is, can I transfer in a nursing course taken at a different RN to BSN program? The answer is quite possibly. We transfer in courses on a case-by-case basis. You have to send me the course syllabi, the course description, along with the transcript showing the number of credits and the grade entered, and then we evaluate it to see if it can come in. So if you've taken a class like nursing research for 3 credits, it will likely transfer in. Nursing research at UCCS, nursing research at CSU, nursing research at Western Governors or another class will likely, another school will likely transfer in. And a lot of those course syllabi, course descriptions have already been reviewed, and we have a list of kind of courses that we'll take. If you've taken a weird course named Complexities of Practice, or you've taken a statistics course that was 2 credits on the quarter system, we won't take those in. The credit numbers have to match, and really the course syllabi has to cover the same thing that our courses cover. So we've had students transfer in 3, 4, 5 classes, and we've had students not be able to transfer in any because they took classes like on the quarter system and none of the credits matched up. So if you need 3 credits of statistics or 3 credits of nursing research, but you took a 2-credit class, we cannot transfer those in. So we review those on a case-by-case basis, individual transcripts, looking at everything. This question is for our overzealous students. You know who you are. Your current first semester Pikes Peak nursing student, or you're waiting for the next application period, what else can you be doing? So you can be taking a couple of those general ed classes listed in the program requirements to try to get them out of the way. So go ahead and take a statistics or take a history if you haven't taken those already, and try to get them out of the way. I highly recommend that you take English 1022 because that helps with your writing abilities, and then statistics because that one's a prerequisite. So if you're kind of waiting for the next application period, go ahead and sign up for a couple of those general education classes. From our military spouses, they always ask me, I'm going to be able to finish my ADN program in state while I'm stationed here at Fort Carson or the Air Force Academy, but I'm going to move out of state when my husband moves. Can I take my final classes and practicums out of state? So the short answer is yes, but it does take some additional legwork on your part. So we have clinical sites all set up for you here in town at places like Mission Medical, Common Spirit, UC Health, Children's. We do not have places set up near Fort Sam or Kentucky or Alaska. So when you get to your next duty station or when you move out of state, you really need to kind of have an idea of some clinical sites that might allow you to do your clinical hours there, and we have to set up a contract with those sites. So sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. Some students have had no problem. They went to El Paso, they asked at the hospice, they took them in immediately, they were able to do their hours, no problem. Other students have had a bit of a hard time locating a clinical site out of state, so they've chosen instead to come back to Colorado. So I have a student doing that this semester. I had one a couple semesters ago where they just either couldn't or didn't want to find their own clinical site, so they just came back here for kind of week intensive clinical of leadership and community health and did all of their hours kind of in one condensed block so that they could just travel here for a week, and that is absolutely fine as well. We have those already pre-set up. We are a fully accredited RN to BSN program effective on February of 2021, before the first cohort ever graduated. We got our CCNE accreditation. It is current, and we are having our next site visit 5 years. We got accredited for 5 years, and our next site visit is in February of 2026, where we will showcase our program and apply for reaccreditation. So we do take applications 3 times a year, but applications are only open and accepted March 1st to March 31st if you want to enter in the summer cohort, June 1st to June 30th for fall entry, and October 1st to October 31st for spring entry. If you have any questions about that, you can call me. I am the RN-BSN coordinator. I have been with the program since its inception in 2019, so I probably have the answer to your question. I haven't been stumped in a little while. So if you need anything, just reach out, randy.nyman@pikespeak.edu. My phone number is 719-502-3525. That will go on to my direct line, and I will call you back within 24 hours. So if you have any question, please reach out. We are always happy to help and welcome you to our program.